Test, test, 1, 2. Mic check. All righty. Mic check. 1, 2. Alrighty, good afternoon, viewers. Thank you for tuning in. This is Christian Pettis coming to you live from Cabinets Field here at Corpus Christi. Thank you all so very much for tuning in for Game 2 of the UIL 3A Division 1 Regional Finals game between the Corpus Christi London Pirates and the Falfurrias Fightin Jersey. This is Game 2. London won Game 1 by a score of 10-3 this past Wednesday. If Corpus Christi London wins this matchup, Game 2, they will advance to the UIL 3A Division 1 State Semifinals. If Falfurrias were to win, they tie the series at 1-1, and Game 3 would be 30 minutes after Game 2. So we do have an exciting matchup for you here this afternoon here on the BC ISD Media Tech YouTube page. Thank you to all of our viewers that are tuning in. So we are at approximately 5:48. First pitch is scheduled in 12 minutes. We will bring you the lineup from both teams, and we will have the national anthem. So as you can see right now on the field, we have our umpires meeting at home plate. A representative from both teams will come to the home plate to exchange lineups. And then after lineups, we will have the introduction of all the players from both teams, followed by the national anthem. So we thank you so very much for tuning in as what is expected to be another exciting day of South Texas high school baseball. And we just want to also remind that if you are watching, you hear music in the background, we do not own the rights. We do not own the rights to the music being played. Just want to make that quick announcement.
Found with an air horn, it will be picked up from you.
Alrighty, viewers, so we'll let you listen in to the lineups and the national anthem from our PA announcer. And after all that is complete, we will get started with the first pitch and start of Game 2. So thank you for tuning in. I'll be back.
Now here's the starting lineup. First to the visiting Falfurrias jersey. Leading off, shortstop number 5, Derek Vasquez. Batting second, center number 22, Jack Garcia. Batting third, playing third base, number 25, Derek Chavera. Batting fourth, playing third base, number 4, Andre Cisneros. Batting fifth and doing the catching this afternoon, number 10, Ben Benavidez. Batting sixth and doing the pitching this evening, number 20, Nathaniel Jaramillo. Batting seventh, playing second base, number 15, RJ Ozuna. Batting eighth and DH, number 17, TJ Torres. Fourth and Ryan Cantú. And batting ninth and playing left field, number 1, Brian Ramirez. And the rest of the Falfurrias jersey. Now for the home team, the London Pirates. Leading off, the shortstop, number 3, Aiden Salinas. Batting second, playing third base, number 12, Zach Garcia. Batting third, playing second base, number 4, RJ Olivares. Batting fourth and doing the catching, number 8, Christian Olivares. Batting fifth and doing the pitching this afternoon, number 15, Ethan Ortega. Batting sixth, playing right field, number 18, Connor Clary. Batting seventh and DHing, number 19, Max Carrion. Carrion is batting for the first baseman, number 11, Dax Williams. Batting eighth, playing center field, number 21, Zachary Tyrone. And batting ninth and playing left field, number 6, JJ Villegas, and the rest of your London Pirates.
Ladies and gentlemen, the executive committee is going to remind students and fans of the proper etiquette during flag ceremonies. The United States flag is a symbol of our great country, and accordingly all of us should stand, place our right hands over our hearts, and gentlemen should remove their caps. Remember, silence is a form of respect, and everyone should remain standing until the anthem is played.
Come to you live from Cabinet Field here at Corpus Christi ISD here in Corpus Christi, Texas. You just heard the starting lineups from both teams, and you heard the national anthem. It is exactly 5:59, one more minute until the first pitch in this UIL 3A Division I Regional Finals playoff game. Game 2 between the London Pirates and the Falfurrias Jerseys. To recap, London won Game 1 this past Wednesday by a score of 10-3. If the Pirates win this afternoon, they will advance to the UIL 3A Division I state semifinals. If the Jerseys were to win, Jerseys will then force a Game 3. Game 3 would be 30 minutes after Game 2. So the Jerseys do, if they do make a Game 3, we will be here live to cover it all. So we're in for a great afternoon of South Texas high school baseball, as it is already 6 o'clock. So the Pirates will be the home team. The Jerseys will be the visiting team. Want to make a quick note. Music that you hear playing in the background, we do not own the rights to. As now we're almost getting ready here for Game 2 of the UIL 3A Division I Regional Finals round. The to start off for the Jerseys is number 5, Derek Vasquez, number 22, Jax Garcia, and number 25, Derek Chavetta. Those are the starting 3. And pitching for the London Pirates, we have number 15, Ethan Ortega. Alrighty, folks, here we go. Derek Vasquez is already walking up to the plate as he'll be starting the Jerseys off here in the top of the first inning.
Leading off to the Falfurrias jersey. Shortstop number 5, Derek Vasquez.
Alrighty, folks, here we go. Vasquez will be starting the Jerseys off. Let's see how it goes. Here we go. Here's the first pitch. And that pitch is in there, called for strike 1. Count will go 0-1 on Vasquez. Alrighty, Vasquez is ready. Wind up. Here's the pitch. And that pitch is outside for ball 1. Count now goes even at 1 ball and 1 strike here on Vasquez. Wind up, here's the next pitch. And that pitch is hit out of play. Oh no, it still stays inside the field, but that is a foul ball. So that will be strike 2 as the count will now go to 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Vasquez. Alrighty. Vasquez, you ready? Wind up. Here's the pitch. There's a hit out to the third baseman. Third baseman catches it, throws it to first. Out in time for out number 1. Alrighty. That brings up next here to the plate for the Jerseys is number 22, Jax Garcia.
With 1 out, nobody on. Next batter, center fielder number 22, Jax Garcia.
Alrighty, here is Garcia. Here's the first pitch. Pitch is called in there for strike 1. Alrighty, here's the windup. Here's the next pitch. There's a swing and a miss right there for strike 2. Count will now go to no balls and 2 strikes here on Garcia. Alrighty, wind up. Here's the next pitch, and that pitch is high for ball 1. Count will now go to 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Garcia. Again, pitching here for the Pirates is number 15, Ethan Ortega. Ortega on the mound, ready. Wind up. Next pitch. As that pitch is outside, it'll be ball 2. Brings the count now to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Alrighty, Garcia waiting for the next pitch. He's ready. Here we go. Wind up. Pitch. And that pitch is low for ball 3. That brings the count now to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count on Garcia. So this next pitch is going to be critical. Let's see what Ortega will throw at him, and let's see what Garcia can do with it. Alrighty. Wind up. Here's the pitch. And that pitch is outside for ball 4. Garcia will take his base. Bringing up next for the jerseys is number 25, Derek Chavetta. Alrighty, with 1 out here in the top of the 1st inning, jerseys do have a man on first base. Number 25, Derek Chavetta, is next to bat. Alrighty. Wind up. And here's the pitch. As that pitch is called a ball. 1 ball, no strikes here on Chavetta. Alrighty, Chavetta is ready. Waiting, here we go. Wind up, here is the pitch. There's a swing and a miss right there for strike 1. Count will now go even out, 1 ball and 1 strike. And 1 out still here in the top of the 1st inning. Already. Chavetta is waiting. Ortega. Here's the pitch. And that pitch is called in there for strike 2. That brings the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Chavetta. As number 22, Jax Garcia, is at first base for the jerseys. Let's see what Chavetta can do here. Here we go. Here is the pitch. And that pitch is out of play. That's a foul ball right there. Count will still remain at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Alrighty, here we go. Big crowd here this afternoon for the UIL 3 Division 1 Regional Finals game between Fal and London, a rivalry matchup. Here is the windup. And here's the pitch. And that is a swing and a miss right there for strike 3, out number 2.
With a runner on first and 2 outs, Denise Butters, first baseman number 4.
Alrighty, bringing up next year to play for the jerseys is number 4, Andres Cisneros. With 1 runner on for the jerseys and 2 outs, it'll be Cisneros' job to try to get that runner home. Here we go. Cisneros is ready. Here's the windup. And here's the pitch. As that pitch is called in there for strike 1, that brings the count to no balls and 1 strike. Alrighty, Cisneros took a couple seconds to regroup. Now he's ready. Here we go. Wind up and the pitch. There's a swing and a miss right there for strike two. The count will now go to no balls and 2 strikes here on Cisneros. Jerseys do have a runner on first base. Alrighty, here we go. Ortega looking at first base. There's the windup, here's the pitch. And that pitch is outside for ball 1. Count will now go to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Alrighty. Both the pitcher and batter return to group, and they have. Alright, here they go. They're both ready. Here we go. Wind up, pitch, and that pitch is too low. That will be ball 2. That brings the count now to 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 outs here in the top of the first inning. Alrighty. Cisneros is ready. And it looks like they'll take a time real quick. Try to regroup here. Alrighty, it looks like everyone's ready. Here we go. Critical pitch right here. Wind up, here's the pitch. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. That's out number 3. Jerseys had a man on. Couldn't do anything about it. We are done with the top of the first inning. Now we will go to the bottom of the first inning. The London Pirates are out to bat. We'll be back.
Pitch count for Ortega, 20. Here's the pitch into the jersey, number 20, Nathaniel Javier. Doing catching, number 10, Benavides.
Alrighty, viewers, here we go. We are back. Batting up next, batting first, leading for the Pirates is number 3, Aiden Salinas. Pitching for the Jerseys is number 20, Nathaniel Jaramillo. All right, here's the first pitch. And that pitch is in there for strike one. Brings the count to no balls and 1 strike on Jaramillo. Or excuse me, on Salinas. Jaramillo, wind up, next pitch. And that pitch is to the side. That is ball 1. That brings the count to 1-1 on Salinas. All right, Jaramillo, next pitch is low, ball 2. Jaramillo down on the count, 2 balls and 1 strike on Salinas. Here is the next pitch. And that pitch is in there for strike 2. That evens up the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. All right, wind up. Here's the next pitch. And that pitch is low for ball 3. And that will bring a full count at 3 balls and 2 strikes for Salinas. Alrighty, Jaramillo, wind up. Here's the next pitch. Their pitch is hit up high. And Cisneros tried to get under it but couldn't. Foul ball. That will bring the count. The count will still remain the same at 3 balls and 2 strikes. As Andres Cisneros, the first baseman for the Jerseys, tried to make a play on it but couldn't. So Salinas is still alive in this at bat. Alrighty, here we go. Both players are ready. Jaramillo, wind up. Here's the pitch. And that pitch is also hit up high. Let's see if Jersey will make a play on it. No, they will not. That ball will reach the bleachers. Another foul ball. The count will still remain at 3 balls and 2 strikes here for Salinas. As it looks like Salinas will regroup here, so we'll have Jaramillo on the plate. Alrighty, both players are ready. Here we go. Here is the windup, and here is the pitch. And that pitch is outside for ball 4. Batter will take his base. All right, bringing up next here for the Pirates is number 12, Zach Garcia. Zach Garcia up here to the plate for the Pirates. Alrighty. Jaramillo, wind up. Here's the pitch. And it shows a bunt right there. Attempt. Jaramillo will pick it up. Throws it to first. Out in time for out number 1. And Salinas does advance to second base. So the London Pirates have a runner in scoring position. 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. That brings up to bat. Next for the Pirates is number 4, RJ Olivares. As it looks like the catcher for foul, Ben Benavides, wants to have a little talk to Jaramillo at the plate. And looks like that talk was pretty quick, and they're both ready. So here's RJ Olivares here at the plate for the Pirates. Jaramillo, first pitch, and that pitch is a foul ball. That'll bring the count now to no balls and 1 strike. Alrighty, as they get the ball. And it looks like Jaramillo will get a new ball. Here we go. Jaramillo is ready. Wind up, here's the next pitch, and that pitch is outside for ball 1. Evened up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike. And again, we got 1 out here in the bottom of the first inning. London threatening to score here. And the next pitch. And that pitch is called in there for strike 1. That brings the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes. on Olivares, the batter for the Pirates. And the next pitch is low right there for ball 3. That will now even up the count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. I apologize, folks. It looks the count was 2-2. Got ahead of myself on the next pitch. There was a hit out to the first baseman. Cisneros was able to catch it and it stepped on the plate for out number 2, as the runner from second does advance to third. So we got 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. Alrighty, batting next for the Pirates is number 8, Christian Olivares. Alrighty, as Olivares steps into the plate, to the batter's box, he is ready. Here we go. Adamio. Wind up, pitch. Pitch is low right there for ball 1. Brings the count now to 1 ball and no strikes. Alrighty, Jaramillo ready. Wind up, here's the next pitch. And that pitch is to outside for ball 2, bringing the count now to 2 balls and no strike. Alrighty, wind up. Here is the next pitch. Hit out to shortstop. Shortstop makes the play, throws up to first. Out in time. And that run from third does not count. 0-0 is your score as we go to the top of the second inning. Jerseys are up next to bat. London let the runner on, couldn't do anything. Let's see what the jerseys will do at the top of the second inning. We'll be right back.
Just remind the fans that we're getting express in DVD. If you have a big piece behind the tailgate area, you go through loft, so we got 2 stations right behind you. Third base Gleason. On the left field line, Green Center. Finding left field, the escort team over there. Thank you. Protected stands open for your convenience. There are taking credit cards and cash. Protected stands open for your convenience, and both restrooms on either side are operational.
Alrighty, viewers, here we go. We are back. Batting next for the jerseys is number 10, Ben Benavides. As Ortega is still pitching here for the Pirates. Alrighty, here's the windup. Here's the first pitch. There's a hit out to left field, and that is foul. That'll be strike one. Count will go to no balls and one strike on Benavides. Alrighty. Ortega looking for the signs. He's ready. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. And that pitch is low right there for ball one. That will now even up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Alrighty, here we go. Wind up. Here is the next pitch. And that pitch is in there for strike 2. That'll bring the count to now 1 ball and 2 strikes. Alrighty, Benavides is ready. Wind up. Here's the next pitch. And that pitch is too high right there for ball 2. Catcher thought that was going to be strike 3, but the umpire ruled it as a ball. Count goes even now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Alrighty. Here's the windup, and here is the next pitch. And that pitch is low right there for ball 3. That will bring the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count here. Critical pitch. Let's see what will happen. Ortega throws it. Benavides. He will hit it to a shortstop. Shortstop will make a play. And in time for out number 1. Alrighty. Brings up next to the plate number 15, R.J. Ozuna. Oh, my apologies, folks. That brings up next to bat for the jerseys is number 20, Nathaniel Jaramillo. Alrighty. Jaramillo is ready. Wind up. Here's the first pitch. And that pitch is low right there for ball 1. Brings the count to 1 ball and no strikes. Alrighty. Wind up. Here is the next pitch. And that pitch is inside for ball 2. Brings the count to 2 balls and no strikes on Jaramillo. As Ortega, pitcher for the Pirates, was ready. There is a hit right there. Shortstop will catch it. Throws it. In time for out number 2. 2 quick outs here for the Pirates. That brings up next here to bat for the jerseys is number 15, R.J. Ozuna.
Now batting, second baseman number 15, R.J. Ozuna.
2 quick outs here for the Pirates. There's only 1 more to get out of this inning. Here we go. Here's Ozuna. Here's the windup. Here is the pitch. And that is a pop-up. Second baseman is calling for it. And he's under there for out number 3. Jerseys don't get anything going here, folks, in the top of the 2nd inning. So we will go now to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Pirates out to bat. Be back.
Pitch count for Ortega, 30.
Alrighty, folks, we are back. All right. Batting next here for the Pirates is number 15, Ethan Ortega. Adamil still pitching here for the Jerseys. As here's the windup, here's the pitch. And that pitch is too high right there for ball one. Count will go to 1 ball and no strikes. Windup, here's the next pitch. And that pitch is low right there for ball 2. 2-0 the count. All right, wind up. Here is the next pitch. And that pitch is outside for ball 3. As Jaramillo is close to walking this batter here for the Pirates. All righty, here's the wind up. Here's the next pitch. And that pitch is outside for ball 4. Batter will take his base.
Ortega along with the walk.
As it looks like we'll have a pitch runner here for the Pirates. Bringing up next to bat here for the Pirates is number 18, Connor Clary.
First runner at first base, number 17, Bryce Phillips.
All righty.
Now batting, right field number 18, Connor Clary. Runner on first, and no outs.
London with a man on first base. No outs here in the bottom of the second inning of game 2 of this 3-game series. As Clary is ready. Jaramillo having a look at first base. Wind up, here's the pitch. And a show bunt. And that bunt is a foul ball. That brings the count to no balls and 1 strike. Alrighty. Larry will get his bat, and now looking at his play signals here. Now he'll step into the batter box. And Jaramillo is ready. Alrighty. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. As Benavides will go back down for a pickoff attempt. No good. Runner is safe. That will now bring up the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. Alrighty. Wind up. Here is the pitch. And that pitch is in there, called for strike 2. That brings the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes. as London does have a runner on first base. Adamio throws. And that pitch is low right there for ball 2. That will even up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Alrighty. Adamio. And a long look at first base. Here's the pitch. There's a swing and a miss right there for strike 3. That will be out number 1. Bringing up next to bat here for the Pirates is number 19, Max Carrion.
For the runner on first and 1 out, the next batter is designated hitter number 19, Max Carrion.
Alrighty. Adamio, wind up, pitch. Pitch is outside for ball 1. Brings the count to 1 ball and no strike. Wind up and the next pitch. And unfortunately, that is a hit by pitch. Batter will take his base. Now, London threatening to score here. That will bring up next to bat for the Pirates is number 21, Zachary Tyrone. Alrighty, here we go. Adamio
Number 21, Zachary Tyrone.
throws, and that pitch is in there for strike 1. As London has 2 men on base. Jersey's gonna have to be careful here. Here we go. Wind up, here's the next pitch. And that pitch is in there, called for strike 2. Brings the count to no balls and 2 strikes here on Tyrone. Let's see what Adamio can do here. Alrighty. Adamio looking at second. And that pitch is low right there for ball 1. Brings the count to now 1 ball and 2 strikes. That the Pirates are threatening here. Pitch. And there's a hit out towards left field. That is a fair ball. 1 run will come in for the Pirates. Pirates strike first. 1-0 is your score. That is a RBI single right there.
That is an RBI single.
Runner from first does advance to second base. Alrighty, bringing up next to bat here for the Pirates is number 9, JJ Villegas.
Left field number 6, JJ Villegas.
Alrighty, folks, so London does strike first. Jerseys have their work cut out for them. Alrighty, here we go. 2 runners on still for London. Hit out to third baseman. Third baseman throws second. Out in time. Runner does advance, though, to third. And the batter is safe at first. Alrighty. As it looks like Coach Esquivel from the Jerseys wants to have a chat with our second base umpire. They might be signaling that there was maybe runner interference. And it looks like the umpires will get together to discuss if there maybe was runner interference between the third baseman, Chavetta, and the runner at third. So our umpires are grouped together, going to talk about to see what the call will be. There is the out at second does still count. Now, if there was, I believe, runner interference, then the runner at third will also be considered out too. So this could potentially be a double play right here, but let's see what our umpires say here. Okay, it looks like the call will be upheld. Runner is out at second base, and there is no runner interference or any type of interference.
Back to the top of the order.
Alrighty.
Salinas.
Pirates have runners at the corners. Batting up next. We're at the top of the lineup. We have number 3, Aiden Salinas. Alrighty, Jaramillo. Wind up. Here's the pitch. And that pitch is outside for ball 1. Alrighty. Wind up. Here's the next pitch. And that pitch is outside for ball 2. Brings the count out to 2 balls, no strikes. Foul fans didn't like that call. They thought it was a strike. About our home plate umpire, so no ball. All right, here's the next pitch. There's a swing and a miss for strike 1. That now brings the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Alrighty, here's the windup. Here is the next pitch. Hit out to shortstop. Shortstop will throw to second. Out in time for out number 3. Alrighty, folks, we play 2 complete innings. The London Pirates strike first by a score of 1-0. Jerseys are up next to bat, so we'll be back.
For the Pirates in the bottom half of the second inning was 1 run on 1 hit, no errors, 2 runners left on base. Pitch count for Jaramillo through 2 innings, 37. Going off for the Jersey in the top half of the third inning, the designated hitter number 17, TJ Forrest.
Alrighty, folks, we're back. Here we go. Batting up next here for the Jerseys is number 17, TJ Forrest. All right, here's the first pitch. That pitch is in there, right down the middle. That is strike 1. That brings the count to no balls and 1 strike. Wind up, and here's the next pitch. And that pitch is low for ball 1. That evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. on Forest. Alrighty. Here's the next pitch. There's a swing and a miss for strike 2. Brings the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Forest. Alrighty, here we go. Forest is ready. Here's the next pitch. And there's a hit towards second baseman. Second baseman throws it to first, out in time. That's already out, number 1. Batting up next here for the Jerseys is number 12, Ryan Cantu.
Forrest grounds out to second base for out number 1. For the run on first, no, excuse me, 1 out, nobody on. Next batter, left fielder number 1, Brian Ramirez.
Apologize, folks. Up next to bat for the Jerseys is number 1, Brian Ramirez. All right, first pitch is up for ball 1. Count will go 1-0 on Ramirez. Here's the next pitch. And that's a swing and a miss for strike 1. Count goes even at 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out here in the top of the 3rd inning. Here's the next pitch, and that pitch is outside for ball 2. Bringing the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. All right, wind up. Here's the next pitch, and there's a hit out toward left field, and that does get down. It gets passed by the left fieldsman as Ramirez is running around second. He's going all the way to third. He is safe at third with a triple. The left fielder over there for the Pirates couldn't make the play. The ball gets past him. Ramirez was able to run all the way to third, and that is a triple. Now bringing up next to bat here for the Jerseys, we're going to the top of the lineup. We have number 5, Derek Vasquez. Jerseys now threatening here at the top of the 3rd inning with 1 out. Vasquez up next to bat.
With a run on 3rd and 1 out. Back to the top of the order. Shortstop number 5, Derek Vasquez.
Alrighty, here we go. Vasquez is ready. All right, here's the windup. Here's the first pitch. And that pitch is outside for ball 1. That brings the count now to 1 ball and no strikes. Alrighty, wind up. Here is the next pitch. And that pitch is too high. Ball 2 brings the count now to 2 balls and no strikes. Alrighty, Vasquez is waiting. Here's the pitch. That pitch is low right there for ball 3. That brings the count now to 3 balls and no strikes. Ortega about to walk Vasquez. Let's see what this pitch will be right here. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. And that pitch is high for ball 4. Batter will take the base. Alrighty, batting up next for the Jerseys is number 22, Jack Garcia. Jerseys have runners at the corners here. 1 out. Top of the 3rd inning. As the Pirates are trying to have a little quick meeting. So there will be a little quick timeout here at the mound. Be back.
The runners on the corner and one out. The next batter, stands for number 22, Jack Garcia.
Alrighty, folks, we are now back from that timeout. Here we go. Again, batting for the jerseys is number 22, Jack Garcia. Alrighty, Garcia in the batter's box. Ortega, wind up. Here's the pitch. And that pitch is in there, called for strike one. The count will go to no balls and one strike. Alrighty, here we go. Here's the windup. Here's the next pitch, and it was a bunt attempt. And unfortunately, the ball goes towards the wall, so that'll be a foul ball. That brings the count now to no balls and two strikes here on Garcia. Alrighty, Garcia regrouping here, and it looks like he is ready. Ortega on the mound. Him and the catcher on point. Here we go. Wind up. Here's the pitch. And there's a hit out towards the gap at left field. And it drops. No good. A runner will score for the Jerseys. Jerseys have tied this game up at 1-1. Garcia with a triple. Excuse me, with a double. Runner from first advances to third base. That's an RBI right there by Garcia. And bringing up next to bat here for the Jerseys is number 25, Derek Chavetta. Double right there by Garcia. Ties this game up even at 1-1. Jerseys are still in scoring, threatening to score here. As it looks like we had time called by our umpires. And I think we're ready. Alrighty, Chavetta is in the batter's box. He's ready. Alrighty. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. Chavetta showing bunt. And that pitch is in there, called for strike one. Count will go to no balls and one strike, as the London catcher will call time. Wants to have a talk with his pitcher. And that was a quick conversation, and looks like they're on the same page here. Alrighty. And Chavetta is ready. He's in the batter's box. Here we go. Wind up. Here's the next pitch. And that pitch is low for ball one. That evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out here in the top of the third inning. We have a tie ball game, folks. 1-1 is your score. Alrighty. Wind up. Here's the next pitch. There's a swing and a miss right there for strike 2. That brings the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes on Chavetta. Alrighty, here we go. Ortega and the catcher. They're on the same page. Here we go. And that pitch is too high for ball 2. That evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes on Chavetta. Jersey still got a man on second and third base. They're threatening to score here. Let's see what will happen. Lined up. Here's the next pitch. And that pitch is hit out to right field. And that will drop, and it gets right by the right fielder. Here comes another run. Derek Chavetta with an RBI double. That brings your score now 2-1 in favor of the Jerseys. Alrighty, folks, and then now that brings up to the plate number 4, Andre Cisneros. Still 2 runners on for the jerseys. 2-1 is your score now. Still 1 out here in the 3rd inning. Alrighty, wind up. Here's the first pitch. As Cisneros was showing bunt, decides not to, but that pitch is in there, called for a strike. Count will go to no balls and 1 strike here on Cisneros. As you can hear the foul crowd going, rattling our booth, as that second pitch is in there, called for strike 2. Cisneros is down the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Let's see, this will be a critical pitch right here by Ortega. Alrighty, wind up, here's the next pitch. And that's a swing and a miss right there for strike 3, out number 2. With 2 outs and 2 men on here for the jerseys, that brings up next to the plate number 10, Ben Benavides. We apologize, folks, if our cameras were moving. The foul fans are right below us, and they were rattling the bleachers, and we were feeling the effects up here. So, 2 outs here, and still 2 men on base for Ben Benavides. Wind up. Here's the first pitch. And that pitch is high for ball 1. Count will go 1 ball and no strikes. Alrighty. Wind up, and here's the next pitch. As that looks like to be a pop-up, and it's in foul territory, but both. And the catcher cannot make a play. As it looks like the catcher and the first baseman were having trouble trying to signal who was going to catch it. Nobody made the sign to catch it, so the ball falls down. So, that will now be a strike 1, and the count will go to 1 ball and 1 strike here on Benavides. Alrighty, Benavides back in the batter's box. He is ready. Alrighty, here is the windup, and here's the pitch. And that pitch almost hit Benavides, as that will be a ball. 2 balls and 1 strike. Alrighty, here's the windup, and here's the next pitch. And that pitch is too high for ball 3. That brings the count now to 3 balls and 1 strike. Ortega for the Pirates, close to loading up the bases here. Alrighty, Ortega, here's the windup, and here's the pitch. And that pitch is low for ball 4. That will load up the bases. Coming up next to bat here for the jerseys is number 20, Nathaniel Jaramillo. With 2 outs, and the bases are loaded here for the jerseys. And it looks like we got a pitch runner here for the jerseys.
With the bases loaded and 2 outs and each batter, the pitcher number 20, Nathaniel Jaramillo.
Alrighty, folks. As the jerseys were getting the pitch runner situated here, Nathaniel Jaramillo will come up to the plate. Bases are loaded. 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. Jerseys take a 2-1 lead here. Alrighty. Wind up. Here's the pitch. And that pitch is outside for ball 1. Brings the count to 1 ball and no strikes. Alrighty, wind up, and here's the next pitch. As that's a foul ball. That will bring the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the next pitch. Wind up. Here's the pitch. And that pitch is too high for ball 2. 2-1 is the count here. Alrighty. Wind up, and now here's the next pitch. And that pitch is hit out of play for a foul ball. That is strike 2. That brings the count even at 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the top of the 3rd inning. Alrighty. Wind up. Here's the next pitch. Oh, and that pitch almost hit Jaramillo. And that brings the count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the foul fans are rallying here, if the next pitch is a ball, then that will walk in a run. So let's see what Ortega throws at Jaramillo. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. And that's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Out number 3. Ortega gets out of a bases loaded jam. Alrighty, folks. Well, we are going to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Jerseys do lead the Pirates right now by a score of 2-1. We'd like to thank you all, viewers, for tuning in for this UIL 3A Division 1 Regional Finals, Game 2 of a 3-game series between the London Pirates and the Falfurrias Fightin Jerseys. London does hold a 1-0 lead over the Jerseys. They won Game 1 this past Wednesday. So this is Game 2. If London wins tonight, they advance to the UIL 3A Division 1 state semifinals. But if the Jerseys win, Jerseys force a Game 3. And Game 3 will take place 30 minutes after Game 2. So this is far from over, folks, as we're going to go to the bottom of the 3rd inning. Thank you so very much for tuning in. We'll be back.
Leading off for the Pirates in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Third base number 12, Zach Garcia.
Alrighty, folks, we're back here. Batting up next here for the Pirates is number 12, Zach Garcia. Alrighty, here we go. Jaramillo with the pitch. And that pitch is in there, called for strike 1. That brings the count now to no balls and 1 strike. Alrighty, wind up. Here's the next pitch. And that pitch is low for ball 1. Brings the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Alrighty, wind up. Here's the next pitch. That pitch is low for ball 2. Brings the count at 2 balls and 1 strike. Alrighty, wind up and the next pitch. And there's a hit out to left field, but that will be out of play. That will be a foul ball. That brings the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Garcia. Alrighty, wind up. Next pitch. And there's a hit out to right field, but that will be out of play. Another foul ball. Count will still remain even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Alrighty. Wind up. And here's the next pitch. And that's a pop-up out towards center field. And that is a catch. Out number 1. Alrighty. Bringing up next to bat here for the Pirates is number 4, RJ Olivares.
Let's see that flag out to center field for out number 1. Now batting, second baseman number 4, RJ Olivares.
Alrighty. Wind up. Here's the next pitch. And there's a hit out towards second baseman. Second baseman catches it, throws it, and not in time as the runner is safe. Alrighty, so looks like we're gonna have a pitch runner here. Oh no, no pitch runner. The team member was bringing the runner, looks like a mitt. Alrighty. Batting up next here for the Pirates is number 8, Christian Olivares. 1 out here in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Here's the first pitch. And that pitch is low for ball 1. Brings the count to 1 ball and no strikes. Alrighty, here's the next pitch. And that pitch is outside. Ball 2. 2 balls and no strikes. London does have a runner on first base. Alrighty. Wind up, here's the next pitch. And that pitch is outside for ball 3. Brings the count now to 3 balls and no strikes. Adamia's close to walking this batter. And unfortunately that pitch was too high. That's ball 4. London now with 2 runners on base. London threatening to score here now, as there'll be a pitch runner here for the Pirates. Alrighty, that brings up next to bat here for the Pirates is number 15, Ethan Ortega. So, London with a runner in scoring position. Wind up, here's the first pitch. That pitch is in there, called for strike 1. Brings the count now to no balls and 1 strike. Alright, here's the next pitch. And that unfortunately gets past the catcher as runners will advance. The wild pitch right there. And both runners for London do advance on to the next base. Alrighty, folks. 1 ball, 1 strike is the count, all even up. As Jaramillo regroups. Here's the windup, here's the pitch. And that pitch is outside for ball 2. Brings the count now to 2 balls and 1 strike. Wind up, here's the next pitch. As that pitch right there was a foul ball. Foul ball. That brings the count now at even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Alrighty. Jaramillo is ready. Here we go. Here's the windup. Here's the next pitch. And that's hit out to the gap. That will bring in a run. As here comes another one. London Pirates take the lead, a 3-2 lead. And that is an RBI single. As it looks like we'll have a timeout here on the mound for the Jerseys. We'll be back.
There's a 2 RBI single for Ethan Ortega.
Alrighty, folks. We are now back from that timeout. Bringing on next to plate here. Batting for the Pirates is number 18, Connor Clary. London still has a runner on first base. 1 out here in the bottom of the third inning. Pirates take a 3-2 lead. Wind up. Here's the pitch. That pitch is outside for ball 1. Alrighty, here's the windup. Here's the next pitch. As Benavides did a pickoff attempt, and he's safe. Alrighty, so with that pickoff attempt, count goes even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Alrighty, Jaramillo having a long look. Here's the windup, here's the pitch. Hit out to shortstop. Shortstop goes for second, out. And out in time for the double play. Jersey's got a double play to end the third, to end the bottom of the third inning. Score is now 3-2 in favor of the London Pirates. Jerseys will be back up to bat. We'll be back.
2 runs on, 2 hits, no errors, no runs left on base. 3 complete. London Pirates 3, Falfurrias Jerseys 2.
Alrighty, folks, we're back. Here we go. Batting next for the jerseys is number 15, RJ Ozuna.
Leading off of the jersey in the top half of the 14. Second base number 15, RJ Ozuna.
Wind up, here's the pitch. Ozuna tries to bunt. Did not go. And that pitch is low. That's ball 1. Brings the count to 1-0. Wind up, here's the next pitch. And that pitch is low for ball 2. Brings the count to 2 balls and no strike. All right, here's the next pitch. There's a hit to the third baseman. Third baseman will throw it to first in time for out number 1. All righty, bringing up next to bat here for the jerseys is number 17, TJ Forrest.
Nobody on the make batter to designated hitter number 17, TJ Forrest.
I'd like to again thank you viewers for tuning in. Just a reminder to please like and subscribe and click the bell icon to get notified when the BCISD media will have another live stream event. That pitch is in there called for strike 1. So yes, please give us a like and subscribe. Follow the BCISD media YouTube page, and again click that bell icon for notifications of the next live event stream. As that pitch was a foul ball, that'll be strike 2. Alrighty, Forrest is down on the count 0-2 as that pitch is outside for ball 1. That brings the count now to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Alrighty, wind up, here's the next pitch. And that pitch is high for ball 2. That evens up the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Wind up, here's the next pitch. And that's a foul ball. Count will remain the same at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Alrighty. Wind up, here's the next pitch. That's a swing and a miss right there for strike 3, out number 2. Alrighty, batting next for the jerseys is number 1, Brian Ramirez.
Now batting, left fielder number 1, Brian Ramirez. 2 out.
Alrighty. Yes, 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. Jerseys are down by 1 run. Batting next for the jerseys is Brian Ramirez. Wind up. Here's the first pitch. There's a swing and a miss right there for strike 1. Alrighty. Wind up. Here's the next pitch. That pitch is inside. That'll be ball 1. Count will now go even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Wind up, here's the next pitch. There's a hit, and it's a foul ball. That'll make the count go to 1 ball and 2 strikes here on Ramirez. Alrighty. Wind up. Next pitch. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. That is out number 3. Alrighty, folks. We've almost completed 4 innings. Jerseys couldn't get anything done in that one. We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning. And before we go, we might stay with y'all right here, as I want to give a shout out to my BCISD media crew, my students, for helping me in getting this broadcast ready set up. And I'd like to thank my entire media crew for all that they've done this school year, as this is already pretty much the end of the school year already. Give a shout out to Anissa Cantu, Sammy Cabral, Ryan Tapia, and Joa Sorkat, my media students who have helped me in bringing many live streams to Berks County ISD this 24 to 25 school year. And I would just like to give also a congratulations out to from the graduating class of 2025 from both London High School and Falfurrias High School. Congratulations to all the graduates as they've had their graduations this past week. So congratulations on graduating from high school. Wishing all graduates the very best on their next adventures. Not only here from London and from Falfurrias, but all over if you're tuning in. If you just graduated from high school or college, you did it. Best of luck going forward. As on my media crew, I do have one senior, Joa Sorkat. He did graduate yesterday. So I'd like to wish him the very best as he moves forward on his next journey. I'd like to give a shout out also to our fine arts director who made the trip up here to see what we do, Mr. Emmanuel Sanchez.
Clean off of the Pirates to the bottom half of the 14.
And I'd like to give a shout out to our technology department back in Falfurrias, Cesar Cantu, Jason Lopez, and Jake Reyes, our technology director. Alrighty, folks, here we go to the bottom of the fourth inning. Batting next here for the Pirates is number 19, Max Carrion. Alrighty, wind up. Here's the first pitch. That pitch is in there, called for strike one. Adamio still pitching for the Jerseys. Jerseys are down 3-2. Here's the next pitch, and that pitch is in the same spot. That's strike two. Brings the count now to no balls and 2 strikes. Wind up. Here's the next pitch. And that's a foul ball, so the count will remain the same. Alrighty. Adamio. Wind up. Here's the pitch. There's a hit out toward center field. Or excuse me, hit to shortstop. Shortstop with the easy catch for out number 1. Alrighty. Bringing up next to bat here for the Pirates is number 21, Zachary Tyrone.
Short for out number 1. 1 out, nobody on. The next batter, center field, number 21. Zachary Tyrone.
Alrighty. Adamio. Wind up. Here's the pitch. There's a hit out toward third baseman. Third baseman gets it. Throws it to first. In time for out number 1. Apologize for the short delay, folks. All of the Jersey fans were cheering, but we were waiting for the umpires to signal, and they signal out, so that is out number 2. Alrighty. Batting up next for the Pirates, here is number 6, J.J. Villegas. Alrighty, folks. As Villegas gets in the batter's box, Jaramillo is ready. There you go. Wind up. First pitch is low for ball 1. Count will go to 1 ball and no strikes. Wind up. Here's the next pitch. And that pitch is in there, called for strike 1. Count will now go even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Alrighty, wind up, and here is the next pitch, and that pitch is too high for ball 2. That brings the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Wind up, here's the next pitch. And at the pop-up, hit out towards center field. Center fielder for the Jerseys is there to make the catch for out number 3. Alrighty, folks. We've played 4 complete innings. Pirates weren't able to do anything in that inning right there. We're now going to the top of the 5th inning. Jerseys are up next to bat, so we'll be back.
For the Pirates in the bottom half of the 4th inning, with no runs, no hits, no errors, no runs left on base. 2-4 complete. London Pirates 3, Falfurrias Fightin 2. Pitch count for Javier, 65.
Alrighty, folks, here we go. Bringing on next bat here for the Jerseys is number 5, Derek Vasquez. Wind up with a pitch, and that ball is hit. That's a foul ball.
The top of the order, shortstop number 5, Derek Vasquez.
Alrighty, folks, we just only got 2 more innings left to play here of this UIL 3A Division I Regional Finals playoff round, Game 2 of a 3-game series. Wind up, here's the next pitch. And that pitch is in there, called for strike 2. Count will now go to no balls and 2 strikes. Alrighty, wind up, here's the next pitch. And that's a swing and a miss for strike 3. Alrighty, that brings up next to the bat here for the Jerseys is number 22, Jax Garcia.
With 1 out, nobody on, the next batter, center fielder number 22, Jax Garcia.
Alrighty, wind up. Here's the pitch. And that pitch is in there, called for strike 1. Brings the count to no balls and 1 strike. Wind up, here's the next pitch. That pitch is low for ball 1. Brings the count even at 1 ball, 1 strike. Alrighty, here's the next pitch. And that's a foul ball right there. That'll be strike 2. Brings the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Alrighty. Garcia waiting for the next pitch. Here we go. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. And that pitch is low for ball 2. That evens up the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Alrighty. It looks like the pitcher wanted a new baseball. And he got one. Alrighty, here we go. Wind up. Here's the pitch. And there's a hit. The shortstop's able to get it. And it's in time for out number 2. Alrighty, bringing on next to bat here for the Jerseys is number 25, Derek Chavera. Alrighty, here's the windup, here's the pitch. And that pitch is outside for ball one. That brings the count to 1 ball and no strikes. Alright, wind up. Here's the next pitch. That's a swing and a miss right there for strike 1. That brings the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Alrighty, here we go. Here's the next pitch. That pitch is low for ball 2. That brings the count now to 2 balls and 1 strike here on Chavera. Alrighty, the windup, and here's the next pitch. That pitch is in there called for strike 2. That evens up the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes, and 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Alrighty. Here's the windup. Here's the next pitch, and that pitch is high right there for ball 3, bringing this count full at 3 balls and 2 strikes on Chavera. Alrighty, here's the next pitch, and that pitch is low for ball 4. The batter will take his base. Alrighty. Bring up next here to bat here for the Jerseys is number 4, Andre Cisneros.
First baseman number 4, Andre Cisneros.
Alrighty, here we go. Cisneros is ready. Wind up. Here's the pitch. That pitch is too high for ball 1. That brings the count now to 1 ball and no strikes. Alrighty. Wind up. Here's the next pitch, and that pitch is too high for ball 2. Brings the count now to 2 balls and no strikes here on Cisneros. Alrighty, Cisneros stepped out of the batter's box to regroup, and looks like he's ready. Alrighty, here we go. Wind up and pick off attempt. No good. As Cisneros steps out of the box again to regroup here, and looks like he is ready. Alrighty, and now he's ready. Here we go. Jerseys do have a man on. 2 outs here in the top of the 5th inning. Wind up, here's the pitch. And that's a swing and a miss right there. Or excuse me, the umpire looked like he called a foul ball. So that will be strike 1. Brings the count now to 2 balls and 1 strike. Alrighty, Cisneros is ready. Wind up. Here's the pitch. And that's a swing and a miss. That's strike 2. That brings the count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes here on Cisneros. 2 outs here, top of the 5th inning. Jerseys do have a runner on first base. Alrighty. Wind up. Here's the next pitch. As that's a foul ball. Cisneros remains alive at 2 balls and 2 strikes. As the home plate umpire gave him a new ball. Here we go. Alrighty. Critical pitch right here. Wind up. Here's the pitch. And that pitch is too high for ball 3. Brings a count now at 3 balls, 2 strikes, full count. Now this one will be a very critical pitch. Yes, Cisneros walks. That brings up next Ben Benavides. So let's see what this next pitch will be. Let's see what Cisneros can do here. Here's the windup and here's the pitch, and that's a swing and a miss right there for strike 3, out number 3. Alrighty, folks, we have played 5.5 innings here. We're going to the bottom of the 5th, so we'll be right back.
For the Jersey, in the top half of the 15 innings, no runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 run left on base. Through 4.5, London 3, Falfurrias 2, pitch count for Ortega, 98.
Alrighty, folks, we are back here coming up next to bat, for the Pirates. We're back to the top of the lineup. We have number 3, Aiden Salinas.
Leading off for the Pirates in the bottom half of the 5th inning, shortstop number 3, Aiden Salinas.
Wind up, here's the first pitch. That pitch is outside. That's ball 1. All right, here's the windup. Here's the next pitch. And that's a hit out to left field. That will drop down for a base hit. All righty, batting up next here for the Pirates is number 12, Zach Garcia.
Single for Salinas. Now batting, third base number 12, Zach Garcia. Runner on first, no out.
All right, here's the windup, here's the pitch, and batter showed bunt. And that bunt is a foul ball. Brings the count to no balls and 1 strike. Alrighty, here we go. Wind up, here's the next pitch. Another show bunt attempt. As Chavera gets it, and he is unfortunately safe. Two runners on now here for the Pirates. And bringing up next to bat here for the Pirates is number 4, RJ Olivares. As looks like home plate umpire was talking to the coach from London about a situation. As apologize, folks, because look, the home plate umpire did signal a fist in the air, which we assume it's an out, but the score here still says no. Jaramillo will throw to third, out in time on that bunt right there. So Jaramillo went to third, and he got the out. So that'll be one out here. Up next to bat here for the Pirates is number 8, Christian Olivares. With the runners at first and second base, London still threatening here to score. Olivares will step up to the plate here. Alrighty, looks like we're ready. Here we go. There's a pickoff attempt. Not in time at second base. Alrighty. Looks like both players are getting their stuff together, both Olivares and Jaramillo. Here we go. Wind up. Pitch is low for ball 1. Count will go to 1 ball and no strikes. Wind up. Here's the next pitch. And that pitch is high for ball 2. Alrighty, wind up. Here's the next pitch. And that pitch is in there, called for strike 1. That brings the count even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Alrighty, wind up. Here's the next pitch, and that pitch is outside for ball 2. Brings the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. So Jaramillo has to be careful with what pitches he's throwing, because you can't give up. I apologize, folks. So it looks like that was ball 4 already. We were following along with what the folks here at Cabinet Field had up on the scoreboard. They had 2 balls, and that next ball thought was ball 3, but turns out that was ball 4. Do apologize for that. So that does load the bases up here for the Pirates, and looks like they'll have a meeting at the mound. So we'll be back.
With the bases loaded and one out, the next batter is pitcher number 15, Ethan Ortega.
Alrighty, folks, we're back from that timeout. Bases loaded here for the Pirates. So up next to bat is number 15, Ethan Ortega. One out here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Pirates are threatening here. Let's see if the Jerseys can get out of it. That pitch is in there, called for strike one. Brings the count now to no balls and one strike. Alrighty, wind up. Here's the next pitch. That pitch is outside for ball one. Brings the count now to 1 ball and 1 strike. Wind up. Here's the next pitch, and that pitch is outside for ball two. Brings the count now to 2 balls and 1 strike. Alrighty, wind up, and here is the next pitch. And that pitch is outside for ball 3. Adamil's got to be very careful. He's going to be about to walk in a run here for the Pirates. Alright, here we go. Wind up. Here's the pitch. There's your hit out to the pitcher. And unfortunately, Jaramillo tried to throw it home. Benavides wasn't there to catch it. So, runner does come in. And we're going to run down out there at third base. So the Pirates do score on what I believe would be an error by Benavides, as he couldn't catch that ball from Jaramillo. But Benavides was able to get the out at third. Brings your score now 4-2 in favor of the Pirates. 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Jersey's only got 2 more innings to try to force this game into a game 3. If they don't, then that's it. Season is over, and the Pirates would advance to the state semifinal round.
Oh, excuse me, number 17 is Bryce Phillips. Now batting.
Alrighty.
Connor Clary.
Batting on next for the Pirates is number 18, Connor Clary. That pitch is high for ball 1. Pirates still have a man on first and second base. Okay, as the London coach was speaking. Oh, so we had a batter change here. The coach from London was telling the home plate umpire. So batting here is number 22. Yes, number 22, Eric Reese. Wind up, here's a pitch. And that pitch is in there, called for strike one. That evens up the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Alrighty, wind up, here's the next pitch. There's a swing and a miss right there for strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Alrighty, here we go. Wind up, here's the next pitch. There's a swing and a miss right there for out number 3. Alrighty, folks, we have played 5 complete innings. The London Pirates do take advantage, adding another run by a score of 4-2 in favor of London. Jerseys, again, only have 2 more innings to work with to force a game 3. Let's see what they can do when we come back at the start of the top of the 6th inning. So we'll be back.
For the Pirates in the bottom half of the 5th inning, it was 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error, 2 runners left on base. Through 5 completes, London Pirates 4, Falfurrias Jerseys 2. Pitch count for Jaramillo, 84.
Alrighty, folks. We are here, top of the sixth inning.
Top half of the sixth inning. The catcher of the team.
Here we go. Batting up next for the Jerseys is number 10, Ben Benavides. There's a hit out to the third baseman. Third baseman bobbled the ball, throws it, and in time for out number 1. Alrighty. Batting up next for the Jerseys is number 20, Nathaniel Jaramillo.
Number 20, Nathaniel Jaramillo. 1 out.
Alrighty, here we go. Wind up, here's the pitch. And there's a pop-up in foul territory. Let's see who's going to make the catch. Third baseman for London makes the catch for out number 2. Alrighty, up next batting for the Jerseys is number 15, RJ Ozuna.
Now batting, third baseman number 15, RJ Ozuna.
Alrighty, here we go. Wind up. Ozuna show bunt. And that pitch is called in there for strike 1. Brings the count to no balls and 1 strike. Alrighty, wind up. Here's the next pitch. And that pitch is in there for strike 2. Brings the count now to no balls and 2 strikes. Wind up. Here's the next pitch. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. That is out number 3. 3 quick outs here for the Jerseys. Couldn't do anything. Going now to the bottom of the 6th inning. We'll be right back.
For the Jerseys in the top half of the 6th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, no runners left on base. Through 5.5. London 4, Falfurrias 2. Pitch count for takeout 104. Leading off for the Pirates in the bottom half of the 16th. The designated hitter number 19, Max Carrion.
All right, viewers, we're back. Here we go. Batting up next here for the Pirates is number 19, Max Carrion. Alrighty, here is the windup from Jaramillo, and here is the pitch. Oh, and that is hit in foul territory. Cisneros trying to find it, and unfortunately, he can't get it. So that'll be a foul ball. That is strike number one. That brings the count to no balls and one strike. Alrighty, here we go. Everyone looks like everyone's situated and ready. Here's the windup and here's the pitch. That's hit out to center field. Center fielder for the Jerseys will make the catch for out number one. Bringing up next to bat here for the Pirates is number 21, Zachary Tyrone.
With one out, nobody on. The next batter, the center fielder number 21, Zachary Tyrone.
Alrighty, here's the windup and here's the first pitch. And that pitch is in there, called for strike one. Brings the count to no balls and one strike. And there's a pop-up, and nobody gets it. Chavera had it, and he wanted to throw it, but couldn't release it in time. That is a hit. That is a single. Batting up next here for the Pirates is number, I believe, 6. Yes, 6. JJ Villegas.
JJ Villegas.
With a runner on, one out here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Jerseys will need to score 3 runs in the next inning in order to force this game into game 3. But first, they need to get out of this inning. Here we go. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch, and that pitch is low for ball 1. That brings the count to 1 ball, no strikes. Alrighty, here's the windup. Here's the next pitch. And that pitch is in there, called for strike 1. Evens up the count at 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out. Alrighty, here we go. Wind up. Here's the pitch. Pitch is outside for ball 2. That brings the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Alrighty, wind up. Here's the next pitch, and that pitch is too high. That gets away. That's a wild pitch. Runner from first will advance to second, as that is a wild pitch. And that brings the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. Jaramillo's close to walking this batter right here. Alrighty, here we go. Wind up. Here's the pitch. And that pitch is in there, called for strike 2. As that will bring the count to 3 balls, 2 strikes. Villegas thought that was a ball, but our home plate umpire called it a strike. So that's a full count at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Alrighty, wind up. Here's the next pitch. And that's a foul ball out of play. Count will remain 3 balls, 2 strikes. Alrighty, wind up. Here's the next pitch. As that's hit out in the gap right there. As we got a runner that's tied down. As that runner is gunned down at the plate for out number 2. But the hitter does advance to third base. So Jerseys were able to not let London score more damage in this game. So now that's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 6th inning. As bringing up next, we're back at the top of the lineup. We have the number 3, Aiden Salinas. Alrighty, folks. So we got 2 outs. After this, we're going to the top of the 7th inning. If Jerseys take the lead in the top of the 7th, we will be going to the bottom of the 7th because London is the home team. But if London keeps their lead through the top of the 7th inning, then that will be the ball game. So still got 2 more here to play, this one and then the top of the 7th. Alrighty, here we go. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. As that's hit out to right field. Right fielder is under it and makes the out. Alrighty, folks. Well, we played 6 complete innings. This is right here the most important inning here for the Jerseys. If they can get runs scored here in this inning and they get out of the bottom of the 7th, they will force a game 3. If they can't get any runs and London retains their lead, London will advance on to the UIL 3A state semifinals. So this is already a do or die situation here for the Jerseys. Can they make the comeback, or will London take it off? You'll find out when we come back.
Just a reminder to fans, no one's allowed on the playing field after the ballgame. No one's allowed on the playing field after the ballgame. Thank you for your cooperation. Leading off for the Jerseys, in the top half of the 17, the designated hitter number 17, TJ Forrest.
Alrighty, folks, we are back. Here we go. Batting next for the Jerseys is number 17, TJ Forrest. So we got TJ Forrest, followed by Brian Ramirez, and then back to the top of the lineup, we have Derek Vasquez. All right, first pitch is low for ball. That is ball 1. Wind up, here's the next pitch. That pitch is low for ball 2. Brings the count down to 2 balls and no strikes. As it looks like we're going to have a timeout here. It looks like we might have a pitching change, so let's see. Yeah, it's looking like we'll have a pitching change. Pitching now for the Pirates is, I believe that's number 2. No, excuse me. That is number 12. That will be Zach Garcia pitching for the Pirates. Alrighty, so London does a pitching change. Garcia will take a couple of pitches to warm up. We'll be back.
Now pitching for the London Pirates on the 12, Zach Garcia. Garcia entered the game throwing 73 pitches from Wednesday night. Final pitch count for Ortega, 106.
Alrighty, folks, here we go. We are back still with TJ Forrest batting. That pitch right there is called a strike. Count will now go to 2 balls and 1 strike. Here's the next pitch. And that pitch is low for ball 3. That brings the count now to 3 balls and 1 strike. Alrighty, wind up, and here's the next pitch. As that ball is hit, but it's a foul ball. That'll be strike 2. That brings the count now to 3 balls, 2 strikes. It's a full count here on Forrest. Wind up, here's the next pitch. And there's a hit, but that's out of play. That'll be a foul ball. Count will still remain at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Alrighty. Forrest battling. 3 balls, 2 strikes right here. Wind up, here's the next pitch. As that is a foul ball. Almost looked like he swung and missed, but umpires ruled that he hit it, so it's a foul ball. Count will still remain the same at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wind up, and here's the next pitch. There's a hit out toward the shortstop. Shortstop will make the play. And he is out at first base. Alrighty, Jersey's only got to work. Jersey's now have to work with 2 outs. Only have 2 outs left in order to force this game into a game 3. Alrighty, batting up next for the Jerseys is number 1, Brian Ramirez. Ramirez at the plate. Here's the windup. First pitch is low for ball 1. Brings the count now to 1 ball and no strikes. Wind up, here's the next pitch. That pitch is in there, called for strike 1. Count goes even at 1 ball and 1 strike. Wind up, here's the next pitch. Hit to shortstop again. Shortstop throws to first. In time for out number 2. Jerseys have one more out to work with in order to force a game 3. Batting up next here for the Jerseys is number 5, Derek Vasquez.
With 2 outs, nobody on. The next batter is the first down number 5, Derek Vasquez.
Alrighty, folks, as it's already starting to get crunch time here. Wind up in here is the first pitch. And that pitch is low for ball 1. Brings the count to 1-0. Next pitch is in there for a strike. Count now even at 1 ball and 1 strike. It looks like the pitcher for London called time. Here we go. Wind up. Here's the pitch. As that pitch is outside for ball 2. Brings the count now to 2 balls, 1 strike. Vasquez has 2 strikes to work with. Wind up. Here's the next pitch. And that pitch is in there for strike 2. Count even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Vasquez has 1 strike to work with. Let's see what it is. Here's the windup. Here's the pitch. And that's a pop-up. Center field is under it. He makes the catch. That's out number 3. And that's the ball game, folks. I'd like to congratulate the London Pirates as they have advanced to the UIL 3A Division 1 state semifinals for 2nd year in a row. Last year they advanced too, so we wish them the best of luck as they will try to compete now for a UIL 3A state Division 1 state title. I'd like to congratulate the Jerseys on a successful UIL 3A Division 1 playoff run. Thank you so very much to all of you viewers that were tuning in for tonight's game and that tune in for all events that we had this school year for Brooks County ISD. Thank you so very much again for tuning in. We hope you tune in next school year. And we do ask, please follow us on all of our social media platforms to get the updates as to when our next live stream event will be happening. And as of right now, no event will be happening during the summer. We will be back in the start of the fall semester, fall of 2025. So this is Christian Arpet coming to you live from Cabinet Baseball Field here in Corpus Christi, Texas, saying so long. Thank you for tuning in and have a great weekend. Good night.